Coverage coming your way is presented by EA Sports and the PGA Tour. Well, hello again and welcome, Rich Lerner, alongside my friend and colleague Frank Nobila. We are in the great state of North Carolina, set to kick off the round here at Quail Hollow. Frank, it is one of the most well-respected courses on tour.
And for good reason, Rich. Great layout. Also, we said hello to Rory McIlroy and Ricky Fowler. They recorded their first ever PGA Tour wins at this very golf course.
Now set to start the round here at Quail Hollow. This first hole is a 418-yard par 4. Frank, walk us through it.
Yeah, it's tricky actually. It's not overly long, but you can see this requires a very good tee shot. Not necessarily with a driver either. Just something that gets the ball in play. Green's really the issue here because it's got a big mound in the middle of it.
Frank, not the longest hitter, but sometimes you win tournaments by putting it in a good spot, and that's where we are right here, 280 yards out.
Yeah, 280 down the middle of the fairway. That'll never get you in trouble.
Headed for the bunker? Not his best shot, and now he'll have to deal with a bunker.
Yeah, they say the hardest shot in golf, the next one.
Second shot now on the way for Brandt Snedeker.
Should be safely on deck.
Great effort right there, and a great chance to knock in that short putt. A slight miss off the tee. He's in the fairway bunker.
Yeah, just really got to pick the right club once again. Sometimes you take a little bit more club out of the fairway bunker, choke down.
And second shot. Really not much to this. The only issue would be a lack of concentration or focus. So close.
And yet it still counts for another shot.
Well, that's just a case of not focusing right there. What a lapse in concentration. Always get the sense that he could make. He is one of the game's premier putters. Snedeker for birdie. So into red figures at 1 under. So a tester from 4 feet. And so just getting started, even par so far. Frank, this is a really fun hole, a pretty short par 3, downhill.
Yeah, half a club, you can allow for that, so it won't play its full yardage. You can really see that right part of the green. That's the most inviting one, but when they stick the flag on the left, you really have to be precise.
So on the putting surface and taking a good look now at this birdie putt here at the second. Frank, where's this one headed?
Well, might just catch the left side of the green. Get on the dance floor, but it's going to be a long way away from the band.
Birdie chance here. Very long putt, though.
Got to be a little careful if it gets away on him.
On the way. Oh, dude, that.
Really. This is that awkward length.
Makeable putt right here. He is currently sitting at 1 under for the round. Solid par to remain 1 under. Frank, here at the third, players facing a challenging tee shot.
For a number of reasons, Rich. One, that the hole bends to the left. Two, that the fairway starts to run out. And three, the length of the second shot. You get rewarded the better you hit your tee shot down here. Now, this is not heading in the right direction.
No, it looks like it's going to be in the rough. Be a little disappointed with that because it lands in the rough and it appears to be fairly thick over there.
This is way left going left.
And that one's going to be in the rough, it looks like.
Well, Mr. Ball does not meet Mr. Fairway. It's off, rough.
Second shot from the rough. It's on the way. Into the tall cabbage. That ball is swallowed up. And setting up here in the rough. Frank did the prudent thing there, didn't he?
Yeah, in the end, really, you could have turned that into a disaster instead. Actually, a good chance, really, to perhaps get away with par.
Brand Snedeker ready for the approach. He'll be disappointed with that, no doubt.
Yeah, swing didn't quite look right on that one.
That shot right there from that lie in the rough to not get that close, that's good. So this approach shot, need to put it in there reasonably close and hope for a bogey.
Yeah, and that actually wouldn't be so bad. A string of mistakes, and just to minimize the damage to just one drop shot, you nearly give yourself a pat on the back.
Just needs to keep it steady here over the putt. That really hurts, Frank, missing the bogey putt.
Yeah, now time to get the handkerchief. Double bogey coming up.
Ricky looking at the lip, eyeing it for par. Nice par to remain 1 under. And this will be a 5-foot putt here. To 1 over par early on in this round. Frank, this is a muscular par 4 here at just under 490 yards, the fourth at Quail Hollow. A difficult proposition.
It is, but fortunately that tee shot plays a little downhill. But one of the difficulties with the tee shot is the fairway kicks from right to left. So it needs a good one to keep it on the fairway, and another green that has 3 different levels.
Great strike and great result. sitting up, good chance to attack the flag.
Second shot.
That one is bunker bound, it looks like. Just a bit offline and into the bunker. Second from an excellent lie.
This looks like it's heading for the bunker.
Into the thick stuff, that's a difficult lie. Frank, there's nothing like catching a bunker shot just perfectly. Splashes out, lands softly, and just runs up to that hole.
Yeah, it's like 3D. There's the component in the strike where it's going to land, and then the third part of it is how much will it roll.
Just trying to make clean contact from the rough. Snedeker has that unusual pop stroke, but it is very effective. Let's see how he does here with this putt. One over for the day. You don't want to let this one get away. This is about concentration and focus at this point. Steady, solid, and at 1 under par right now. Now to the first par 5 here at Quail Hollow, the 5th hole. It's 570 yards, and it would seem, Frank, that this tee shot sets up well for a guy like Rory McIlroy.
It does. Someone that hits it long and moves the ball right to left, and that's what you're going to have to do here. One of the main reasons for that is not necessarily the dog leg, but the fact that the fairway, Rich, slopes away from you. It slopes to the right and away. So that makes that tee shot so much more difficult.
Now the second shot to the par 5.
This is definitely not going down the fairway.
It doesn't look good. I think it's going to be in the deep rough. So the golf ball ends up in that first cut. It's a little bit less than 2 inches. You can see the golf ball. Should be able to get at it, but may not be able to control the spin. We'll see. Headed for the bunker? Oh, a bit unfortunate. Wasn't able to avoid the sand trap. Lays the face open. He'll try to pop this one out. This one looks like it's headed right for the middle of the dance floor, Frank.
Rather nice shot, I would say.
On the green, and a chance for birdie. Well, certainly playable from here. Ball is in the first cut. Not too bad. Boy, this could be a tough one right here, Frank.
It's a very long putt, Rich. Obviously, it's difficult, but he still has a shot to sink this one for birdie.
Well, hello there.
Huge bonus making that one.
He's putting for birdie now. Good work there. Now to even par. Frank, this is where you know that players like Bubba Watson, Dustin Johnson, Rory McIlroy are playing a different game than guys like me. They step up to this 250-yard par 3 and they might hit 5-iron. It is a little downhill, but they might be with a middle iron, where a lot of us would be with a driver.
Well, you see the advantage of that power on this very hole, not just because of the length they got to hit it, but the green they're heading into. This green slopes off in both directions, right and left, so you have to land that ball in the middle of the green. So yeah, it's a big advantage if you can go at this hole with like a 5-iron.
Might want to check the GPS on a putt this long. Wow, that was so close, Frank.
Just time to forget that one. I mean, he couldn't hit that much better.
This one just requires a little bit of focus. Wow, what a putt. That is huge.
Even par currently.
Still playing even for the day after the par. Frank, there's a lot to chew on here as you get to the tee at the 532-yard par 5/7.
In today's game, 530 plus change you'd think is incredibly short. And look at the trouble in front of you. Water all the way down the right side and around that right side of the green. Bunkers left. This is not for the faint of heart. Whoop, this is taken off on a weird line.
And it's going to be in the rough, it looks like. Not quite what he wanted. Tee shot is in the bunker. That one is in the fairway, down there about 290 yards. Digs in, ready for the bunker shot.
Yeah, second shot here. Just try and aim a little bit behind that ball, an inch or two.
Out of the sand and back on the fairway.
Yeah, good shot. Just really utilized that little bit between the ears. Realized he couldn't reach the green and instead opted for fairway.
That one is in the bunker. In the greenside bunker here, Frank. Nice to go to the beach, but not too often, we hope. That's a good shot right there, about 15 feet away, and a good look at birdie. Fowler getting ready for his third. And getting ready for the putt. Frank, that's not one you're necessarily thinking about making.
No, just a good putt, though. There's no two ways about that. He's putting well.
This is a birdie try for Snedeker.
That's the cruelest thing about this game, Rich. I mean, it's another shot.
Just a tap in to finish the hole. Did the job right there. Needs this for par. Drops it, and he's at even par. Frank, in modern professional golf, we're seeing more and more drivable par fours, like the 8th here at Quail Hollow, 350 yards. What do you think of this hole?
It's not a bad hole. Drivable, some might say, but the angle of the green means it's hard for that tee shot to keep on the green. But I think the reward for hitting a driver is try and sort of aim at that tree just left of the green. And the reason why is then you've got to pitch up the direction of the green. This is a really narrow green. Oh, that was sweet. Straight down the middle.
Frank, this is a position where a player is absolutely licking his chops here. Good chance to make a birdie.
Yeah, this is when this game just looks like fun. Bunkers don't seem to be in play. The only thing you're really looking at right now is just the flag.
Well, that's how you play the game right there. Knock it on the green and give yourself a good look at birdie. Second shot from the rough. It's on the way.
Really. This is an awkward length. Oh, good roll, good putt.
Just needs to keep it steady here over the putt. That's a par, and that keeps the scorecard clean, still even for the round. Frank, this is a really good way to finish out the front side here at Quail Hollow. 495-yard par 4.
Yeah, it's the longest par 4 at Quail Hollow. Some say it might be the toughest. I'm not quite in that camp. And the reason why, that green slopes in from both sides, the left and the right. But you can see why good drivers have done well here, because there's a big reward for thumping a big, long, straight drive down here.
Into the thick stuff, that's a difficult lie.
Now, this is not heading in the right direction.
No, it looks like it's going to be in the rough. Frank made this hole just a little bit harder hitting it into the rough.
I would say a lot harder.
This requires a lot of speed through the ball. Missed that one, and it is going towards the rough. This is the second shot at the par 4. Frank did the prudent thing there, didn't he?
Yeah, in the end, really, you could have turned that into a disaster instead. Actually, a good chance, really, to perhaps get away with par.
Now the third shot for Snedeker. This is a good-looking shot. On the green and in play. Good shot. You don't want to let this one get away. This is about concentration and focus at this point. Beautiful touch. Nice putt. Fowler attempting this for par. In for par. And will sit tight at 4 under. Excellent front side, trying to keep it going here on the second 9.
He's just playing beautifully, hitting so many good shots, giving himself so many opportunities. Can he keep it going?
We moved that one out there, but he is not going to like the lie.
That moved down in the rough.
And that one lands in the first cut, Frank.
Interesting choice coming ahead here. It'll be interesting to see how he reads this lie.
Frank, just into that first cut.
Yeah, it's sitting up. Really, this isn't too bad a situation.
Frankie's managed to hit it in the rough yet again.
Yeah, this is hard to imagine. You know, the fairways aren't that narrow today.
He'll need to be strong with this. Slight miss, and he'll have to deal with some of the heavy grass. Playing his third here at the par 5. Frank, that was a pretty tough lie out of the rough there.
Yeah, it made that actually a little easier than what it really is. It would have been too easy to try and bite off more than you can chew. So I got to give him a pat on the back for that.
Back in the fairway. Early part of this back 9 and a good approach shot. And now we'll have this for birdie. This is Brant Snedeker's fourth shot. Standing over this putt, concentrating on the read. How does that not go in?
Amazing. Stroke looked good, line looked good, just did not take that final break.
Ricky Fowler, one of the game's most aggressive putters for birdie. Ooh, that hurts. Made a good run at birdie. He'll have to focus now, try to walk away with the par. So a tester from 4 feet. Well, he has that for bogey, and I can't help but think that the double bogey back on the third hole seems to have really shaken his confidence. See what Ricky Fowler does with this putt. No problem at all. Good putt, and stays at 4 under par. Back here at the par 4 11th at Quail Hollow, set to tee off. What's the right game plan here, Frank?
There's two really. That left bunker off the tee, it's about 265 yards to get it on the fairway, or 308 yards, 310 yards run out there. I've seen players just try and carry the bunker, sort of set up a short iron, and I've seen players like Rory McIlroy just try and blast a driver with a hook on it. Both strategies have worked.
So that sets up a tougher second shot, missing the fairway with the drive, now in the rough. Little shaky behind the wheel today, Frank.
Shaky? Maybe put both hands on it?
And it looks like it's in the rough there, Frank.
It might not be as bad as it looks.
Second shot coming out of the rough here. On the green with about 30 feet to go. Just trying to make clean contact from the rough. Birdie chance here. Very long putt, though.
Got to be a little careful if it gets away on him.
Frank, that's not one you're necessarily thinking about making.
No, just good putt, though. There's no two ways about that. He's putting well.
Really not much to this. The only issue would be a lack of concentration or focus. Frank, he took plenty of time on this birdie putt. He looked at it from 3 different angles. He forgot one very important ingredient.
Yeah, pace. You can definitely fall in love with the line, even with approach shots as well, but obviously we see it more on putting.
Did the job right there. So just a formality here. Knocked that down for par, remains at 4 under. Par 4 12th here at Quail Hollow, 456 yards. Frank, break it down for us.
Well, there's no fairway bunkers either side, so you feel like there's nothing to work the ball off, and consequently, it's very easy to sneak it in the rough on the left or the right. And then that makes that second shot so much more difficult going up the hill. This is one hole that you have to pick a line on. You really have to know your line off the tee. There's a nice big tree down there in the distance. That's the one you want to work it off.
That one ends up in the rough.
Oh, that went sideways.
Second shot from the rough. It's on the way.
Whoop, this is taken off on a weird line.
And it's going to be in the rough, it looks like. And that one rolls just into the rough.
Now you have to decide whether or not that ball's going to fly or not.
Boy, this is a challenging second shot here to the par 4 12.
It's almost like two greens, Rich. That ridge that goes through the middle about the halfway point, 18 to 20 yards. Anything over that will kick on, and anything short of that runs back to the front.
And as he strides up here to the 12th green, having hit it in regulation, he knows now that his work is by no means done. A long putt coming up and setting up here in the rough.
Oh, solid strike right in the heart of the green.
Frank, I'm not saying he should pull out driver here, but this is a long putt.
Greens are fast, though. You never know. Good line, good pace. Might have a chance.
Oh, what a putt from long distance, bottom of the barrel. Settles in over the putt. So they'll tap in. Frank, we hear the sports psychologists say, forget about the bad shot, put it behind you. But you know, it just isn't that easy sometimes. You make the double bogey as he did on a previous hole, you're steaming mad. It's hard to let it go.
Well, it's like a lot of things in life, too. You've got to choose whether you want to be your own friend or your own foe. And right now you can see that he's fighting himself, and that's the biggest difference. You got to realize your best friend out there is you.
Confidence right now clearly is shaken. Good testing shot here from 200 yards to the flagstick. Frank, you played in conditions all over the world. Here come the winds now. What's the mindset?
Well, this is really what separates the men from the boys. This is where you've got to tell yourself, and it's an advantage to you. Obviously, the scores will go up a little bit, given the conditions. But once again, this is going to suit the stronger player today.
You like the old phrase, swing easy when it's breezy?
Definitely when you're hitting it into a head breeze. But down breeze, tee it up a little bit, try and ride that wind some more.
Well, that one didn't work out. Didn't look bad in the air. It hit the green, but didn't sit.
Yeah, it was never going to stop.
Second shot coming out of the rough here. Oh my goodness, he just made that. I cannot believe it.
I was thinking might get it close, and just a great shot. Well, it's a big green. Just managed to get it smack bang in the middle of it.
Fowler for bogey. Well, this one's tracking. There you have it. Well done. Great putt. Well, now we come to the really interesting 345-yard par 4 14th. Frank, I'm thinking that if you're leading, you're probably not going to try to drive this and take on the risk with the water on the left. But if you're behind, you have a chance to make up some ground.
Yeah, I have it written in my yardage book, Rich.
Frank, they threw him a life vest. He's back on dry land.
And I hope this time he swings, he doesn't have the water wings on.
Third shot now, after the last one found the deep blue.
Yeah, you can still minimize the damage here. It's only one bad shot that you got punished for.
Ball sitting down here in the rough. He's digging in. Miss hit, wrong club. What happened there, Frank?
All of the above, maybe. It's a little bit of a head scratcher. It wasn't that hard a shot.
Oh, looked like he caught a flyer right there, Frank.
Well, I don't know what he caught, but this is way too much.
Good news is, was able to retrieve the golf ball.
Yeah, on dry land, and can he carry it this time, though?
So this is his fourth shot after the last one found the water.
Yeah, it's not all over, but right now, too, he's staring down the barrel of a very bad hole.
Frank had hit the green, but just didn't have enough backspin.
Yeah, you wonder what he's thinking on that. Well, that's the best that was going to be, on the fringe.
Not too bad. Frank, not easy to keep your eye on the target when you've just splashed down.
Yeah, but on the flip side, too, one bad shot doesn't have to lead to two.
Number 7, and nothing lucky about this one, Frank, after hitting it in the water.
It really starting to get away from the player right now, and this is, you can just see, starting to implode.
Hate to say it, but that is a quadruple bogey, double the par, and time to pick up and move on. Unfortunately, that ball is wet. Well, double par here, time to pick up and move on. Now at the par 5, 15th hole, 577 yards. Frank, you remember what Rory McIlroy did here in 2010, that final round, 62?
I certainly do, Rich. That was an amazing run on the second 9. And holes like this, too. He just stood up here with a driver and just obliterated it down there with a nice draw, took those bunkers out of play and just set up a mid-iron.
Frank, it's a hard game to play from the high grass.
And that's where he's been more often than not today.
Second, from an excellent lie. Tugged that one a little bit offline to the left, and he'll pay a bit of a price because that rough is fairly thick. Into the tall cabbage, that ball is swallowed up. This requires a lot of speed through the ball. Frank did the prudent thing there, didn't he?
Yeah, in the end, really, you could have turned that into a disaster instead. Actually, a good chance, really, to perhaps get away with par. Should be safely on deck. Well, it was almost like that's what he wanted to do, but why would you want it to run over the back?
Well, that's what separates the good players from the great players, the ability to get it that close from that kind of lie. You don't want to let this one get away. This is about concentration and focus at this point. Frank, this game will drive you crazy.
Yeah, you can do so many things right, and then just something so simple, completely wrong.
He is capable of going on some torrid runs. This would be a birdie for Fowler. Just singes the edge, Frank.
Yeah, but at least he's burning the edges. You know you're hitting good putts.
Hard to be perfect in this game. That's a bogey. Nudge this one home, finish it up. Did the job right there. At last, we have arrived at the start of one of the most daunting finishing stretches in all of golf. They call it the Green Mile, 16, 17, and 18 here at Quail Hollow. The 16th is a par 4, 508 yards, Frank.
And this hole was made even more difficult when they pushed that green further left to bring the water more in play with the second shot. I mean, it's a great par 4. It's strong in every single department.
Frank, not the longest hitter, but sometimes you win tournaments by putting it in a good spot, and that's where we are right here, 280 yards out.
Yeah, 280 down the middle of the fairway. That'll never get you in trouble.
So the golf ball ends up in that first cut. It's a little bit less than 2 inches. You can see the golf ball. Should be able to get at it, but may not be able to control the spin. We'll see. He's knocked it on the green, but not in a great position. This is a difficult chance coming up here. Long birdie try. Good thing he stayed in the first cut, because just a couple of feet over, that rough is really deep. This is a long putt. Really, the key is the speed. If it drops, that's a bonus. Oh, I thought he had that. You've got to be kidding me. That was right on the edge.
I tell you, he wants to do over there.
This one just requires a little bit of focus. That was not a very good read right there. Just a couple of feet. And he makes it for a bogey here. So they'll tap in. Drops it, and he's at even par. Frank, the 17th here at Quail Hollow. It is all you want.
And a bit more, actually. The only advantage the player has that plays a little bit downhill, but when you look at the lake in front of you, if there's any swirling breeze out there, it just becomes a nightmare trying to choose the right club.
Birdie try up next. Ricky Fowler, a Gen X superstar, ready with his approach shot. Frankie has to be scratching his head as he reaches for a sand wedge or a gap wedge for his next shot.
Well, you know the FedEx Cup, Rich. I mean, you're meant to get there by 10:30 tomorrow. That thing's still going.
Birdie chance here. Very long putt, though.
Got to be a little careful if it gets away on him.
And he has it, Frank.
I don't believe it.
And setting up here in the rough. Ooh, what a shot right there. Beautifully done. Now to the finishing hole here at Quail Hollow. Frank, what can we expect?
If there was a name for this hole, Rich, it should be called Narrows. The creek that meanders its way down the left side and actually divides that hole into really half the size of what a normal par 4 should be. That makes it hard. The bunker on the right is your bailout area. Just over 290 yards to get past that. And then the narrowest green that still sits up against the lake. This is just a brutal finish.
Great strike and a great result. Sitting up, good chance to attack the flag.
What a great shot.
Set for his next shot from a good position in the fairway. Frank just never really adjusted to these changing winds.
They have been a problem for everybody out there, but once again, smart shot selection. You don't have to aim every shot at the flag today. That's an absolute beauty.
This, the second shot here at the par 4. Good swing, good shot yet again. Oh, can't hide the flagstick from that man. Final approach shot of the day here at the 18th. Oh, looked like he caught a flyer right there, Frank.
Well, I don't know what he caught, but this is way too much.
Frank, as we know in golf, it isn't just about the clean strike. He certainly hit that well. Hit it too well. It's about club selection.
Yeah, well, Rich, I was just going to say, that's the wrong club. I mean, that didn't sniff even just landing on the green. So there's a couple of other clubs in the bag he could have used. Anything other than that one.
Brant over a bogey bid. Wow, he got robbed, Frank.
No, it's like kissing your mother-in-law.
Locked in on the read and the speed. So a 71 on the day. Just a tap in to finish the hole. Everything has gone wrong today. Just continues to be ugly. That'll wrap it up from here in the tower at Quail Hollow. I'm Rich Lerner. For Frank Nobilo and all of us here at EA Sports, thank you for playing along, and we'll see you next time.